Today's verse of the day is Romans 12:10. Contemporary Jewish Bible. Love each other devotedly and with brotherly love, and set examples for each other in showing respect. Shall we pray? Father, we ask today, according to Romans 12:9, that you cause our love be without dissimulation. Realizing that we are living in the last day, where Matthew 24:12 reminds us that because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Wickedness and sin caused us to change the truth of the gospel into compromise. But cause us to do what your word says. Abhor that which is evil. Help us to cleave to that which is good. Give us not to compromise, allowing that which you hate. Don't allow us to have a form of godliness. Don't allow our love for our brothers and sisters in the faith to be a mere outward show. Help us not to allow the enemy to lead our love into a state of heightened suggestibility. Help us, according to Psalm 34:14, that we depart from evil and do good. Father, many are careful not to sin, but many fail to do good. Father, many of us are surrounded by enemies. Help us not to cut off our blessings because of carnal thinking that causes us to disobey your word. Give us to obey 6:30, where you instructed us to give to every man that asketh of us. The carnal mentality gives us to cut people off, but give us to know that you are not pleased when we do such things. Thank you for the promise in Psalm 23:5, that you prepare a table before us in the presence of our enemies. Help us to follow the instructions of Romans 12:20. When our enemy is hungry, don't allow our carnality to turn them away, but give us to feed them just as your word declares. Don't allow us to rejoice when we see the coals of fire or punishment on them, but rather give us to consider that it could have been us. Father, give us to remember your word says that all souls belong to you. Help us to remain in pursuit of wisdom, that our carnal nature not choke out our heavenly or earthly blessings. Father, let us not put away compassion during this time of instability in the earth. Despite the inflation concerns, give us to remember that as heirs and joint heirs with Christ, you will still take care of all of our needs, as long as we walk in obedience to your word. Father, realizing Satan is the source of turbulence in homes, families, and even in churches, let us not be found as one of his human volunteers, further dividing the body of Christ because of ignorance. Father, where there is sickness, don't allow us to give the empty response of I'm praying. Help us to do our part by providing meals and physical help, whatever is needed in the home. Father, even with the fluctuations of gas prices, give us to have concern for the saints, offering rides when we are able. This time of pestilence in the earth has caused many to revert back into an every man for himself mentality, when you have charged us to do good to all men, especially those that are of the household of faith. Give us to realize that our blessings are held up because you are waiting on us to obey all of your word. Father, rekindle the love of the church, that we may let our light shine through the mass shootings, racial inequality, and food disparities that we are facing today. Help us remember the mission of the church during these times of despair. Give us wisdom in dealing with mental issues. Give us to know when it's a spirit that needs to be cast out, and when medical help is needed. Give us wisdom in how to care for others in such a way they come into the knowledge and acceptance of salvation. Give us how to do ministry that would not be talkers, but doers. Give us how to care for the impoverished without using them as an example in our sermons, or out of the need to put on a show for other believers. Give us to walk in humility again, that we no longer steal your glory. Forgive us for stealing the credit by telling our past works over and over. Give us to know that in doing that only produces earthly reward. Give us to lay our treasures in heaven. Remove everything from us that's not like you, that we may be whole. Ignite our love. Lastly, Father, help us to obey Ephesians 4:32. Cause us to be kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as you for Christ's sake hath forgiven us. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you for pausing to listen to today's edition of Pause for Prayer, sponsored by the Holy Place Church. We are praying for you believing God with you in your circumstance. Submit your prayer requests via our website at holyplacechurch.org. Help someone by sharing this prayer, that others might find hope. On behalf of our lead servant Lydia Young, we thank you for listening. Have a fantastic day.